The Middle Georgia Community Food Bank is doing everything it can to get food to needy families. But decisions on Capitol Hill could impact how many people are able to get help. 41 NBC's Skylar Henry joins us in the studio with details.
And this week in Washington, Congress could come to a decision where billions of dollars could potentially be cut for the food stamp and EBT services across the country. Local agencies in Middle Georgia say that would be a disaster for families in the area, especially when so many are willing to help. Each day, volunteers pack, stack, and move boxes full of food at the Middle Georgia Community Food Bank, hoping every family who needs it gets fed. This week, Congress is in talks about the Farm Bill potentially cutting billions of dollars from the program.
Cutting the food, then basically you're taking away from both ends of the spectrum, the senior citizens and the children.
Ronald Raleigh is the executive director of the food bank. He says families who use the stamps need all the help they can get.
Those only make up about 80% of what the consumer actually needs if they're going to meet their total needs for their family for food for the month.
Raleigh says volunteers like Vicki Ward are always busy. She works for the South Asian Army and says cuts to the program would be devastating.
If you end up giving somebody who doesn't really need it that much, at least maybe you covered all the ones who did need it. I get to feed somebody. I get to know that somebody didn't go hungry.
Even young volunteers are lending a helping hand, like this youth group from Birmingham, Alabama. The director for the group says kids are enjoying themselves while making a difference.
Part of the reason we do what we do is to instill in the youth that we minister to the importance of action along with their faith.
Volunteers want people to write their local government about the potential cuts. Raleigh says the food bank is a lifeline.
Without food stamps, without a food pantry program, without the food bank, they could not exist in any kind of standard of living where they could feed their children and take care of the necessities of life.
Raleigh says the food bank reaches about 250,000 people in Middle Georgia each year. About 2 million people in the state rely on the federal assistance for meals every year, and he hopes Congress will see how many people programs like the food bank will help if it continues to stay funded.